Hi there Waltoneers, I'm Jack and this is of course DSNY Newscast, and to begin with for today, I'm going to leave a link down below in the description box to some information and Disney's official video on the Disney Genie service. So if you just want Disney's take on their new service, then go ahead and check out all of that information. As you see, I'm doing that because I feel like I'd be doing a disservice to all of you if I didn't also give my thoughts and opinions on the Disney Genie service at the same time as explaining it. So with all of that out of the way, let's begin with a quick overview of what Disney Genie is and what it's aiming to achieve. As it's basically going to be a virtual assistant that will be nestled within the existing My Disney Experience and Disneyland Resort apps and will become available via an update later this fall. And this assistant will use algorithms to help plan out your day at Disney with intelligent suggestions and location-based recommendations for attraction wait times, dining reservations and entertainment show times. And if that was all that Disney Genie is, then you know what, I don't think any of us would have much of a problem with any of this, as the core technological advancements to help optimize the most out of your Disney day is something that has been needed for a while now. But despite Disney trying to market this as being all about optimizing the guest experience, we also know that it's unequivocally about Disney trying to maximize the amount of financial return that they can get from each guest within the park, or as Bob Chapek so bluntly put it within an earnings call recently, it's about optimizing the yield. And that's where I have a problem. As you see, the actual technological idea and the concept of a virtual assistant I actually quite welcome. As if it works as planned, it should help bring about that sense of spontaneity within the Disney experience again, replacing the old My Disney Experience system that has increasingly become a regimented pre-planned vacation experience that had to be executed with military precision, and force guests to wake up extremely early, 60 days out from the beginning of a vacation, and plan out exactly what you're going to do every single day for fear of missing out on the big attractions, which I feel took the spontaneous fun out of the Disney experience. However, what Disney's actually replacing all of this with is a paid, upcharge service that requires microtransactions to get the same former experience. But to better understand all of this, let's begin to break it down, as there will be a completely free tier of Disney Genie that's included with your ticket, and this will provide the intelligent suggestions and location-based recommendations to help you minimize the amount of time that you spend in standby lines throughout the day, which in theory definitely could work, as with fewer guests choosing to pay for the paid Genie Plus service, then the standby wait times should hopefully move a lot faster, as there won't be as many people in the previous FastPass queue that need to be merged near the loading stations. And if we're being honest, the old FastPass Plus system, with up to 3 selections included with your ticket, has been in need of a general overhaul for quite a while, as giving every guest that many FastPasses has essentially led to the FastPass queue sometimes being just as long as the standby queue. But instead of a revision to FastPass Plus, Disney has just decided to remove the concept of a free FastPass altogether and have decided to put it behind a paywall, which I think will simultaneously lead to confusion and an even greater sense of guest entitlement when the attractions they paid for have unexpected downtime. And so, probably to prevent any kind of confusion, Disney has decided to give FastPass a new name by calling it Lightning Lane. And what this means for the guests using the free Genie service is that they will be given the option to either pay for a separate individual upcharge for an attraction to unlock Lightning Lane, which they're limited to 2 per day, or they can upgrade to Genie Plus for $15 per ticket per day at Walt Disney World and $20 per ticket per day at Disneyland. And as I've previously stated here on the channel, I expected FastPass Plus to be replaced with an evolved version of MaxPass from Disneyland, and that is almost what Genie Plus is, as it will give you unlimited selections for Lightning Lane access to rides throughout the day, but with the important condition that the first selection has to be made at 7 AM of the same day of entry, and all subsequent selections after that can only be made once the previous return time has elapsed, which is almost the same as MaxPass, except that with MaxPass it was whenever the previous time had elapsed, or it had been 90 minutes. which was undeniably a better implementation, as what happens if the next available return time for that attraction is 5 hours from now. And talking from experience as someone who's actually used MaxPass at Disneyland, I actually think it works surprisingly well at maximising the amount of attractions that you get to ride within a day. But that isn't the full story here, as even for the additional charge of $15 or $20 per day, some attractions' Lightning Lane access will still remain out of reach, as Disney has given the example of Seven Dwarfs Mine Train at the Magic Kingdom and Radiator Springs Races at Disney California Adventure as extremely popular attractions that will be using a separate individual upcharge to use the Lightning Lane access, no matter whether you have Genie Plus or not. And despite not being mentioned yet, if I were to hazard a guess, I would say that Test Track, Flight of Passage and Slinky Dog Dash would probably be the other attractions at Walt Disney World to be put behind this microtransaction paywall, purely based on their popularity and lower throughput capacity. And in terms of Rise of Resistance, it will continue using a boarding group virtual queue system for now, but eventually it will also be included as part of this Lightning Lane upcharge as well. And we've also learnt that Remy's Ratatouille Adventure will use a virtual queue system like Rise of Resistance when it initially opens. But to be honest, what I really hate about this new paid Lightning Lane approach is that I believe that once you walk through the gates of a Disney park, you shouldn't have to think about money before going on any one of the attractions. Otherwise, it begins to cheapen the experience and makes it a little bit like a carnival or state fair, where each ride is its own individual charge. And if you're asking what is the advantage of staying at a Disney resort with this service, well, believe it or not, you're going to have the opportunity to pay for your upcharge Lightning Lane at 7 AM instead of park opening like everyone else, which I think is beginning to stretch the definition of what is considered a perk to staying on Disney resort property. And in all honesty, I think that Disney is making a bit of a mistake, as they clearly thought that this would be similar to how people have taken so well to Disney Plus Premier Access. But the big difference there is the consumer is getting something new in the convenience of watching movie releases at home at the same time they're in theatres, whereas 18 months has not been nearly long enough for guests to forget about the free FastPass Plus option they've had previously, and what I feel would have gone a long way to quelling a lot of this negative response to this Genie service would have been if Disney still provided everyone using the free standard Genie service at least one Lightning Lane access to use each day. Or better yet, I'm a proponent of bringing back the former FastPass system, which leveled the playing field for everybody. Although this Genie Plus implementation will also have wider ramifications that potentially goes beyond guests not returning to Disney, as the cast members are really getting a bad deal here, as already they are blocked out of most of the park pass reservations as it is, and now they don't even get to have any free fast passes to use for the short window of time they get to be in the parks, which in turn removes a lot of the incentive of enrolling in the college program and working for Disney. And so potentially this one decision may cause a domino effect, making it harder for Disney to expand in the future, as they'll find it harder to hire the workforce they need to staff the parks. And then also from a branding and marketing perspective, the naming and the character that they've used doesn't actually make the most sense, as we all know that the genie from Aladdin gave 3 wishes for free, which makes me think that the genie name would have been a better fit for the previous FastPass Plus system with their 3 selections. And then the name Lightning Lane also doesn't make much sense either, as I feel either Instant Wishes or Wish Pass would have been a better fit for the service's branding. But even if we were to go one step further, I think that there were other character options which would have fit this service's concept much better, such as Lumiere, who would make you his guest for the day, Jiminy Cricket, who would let your conscience be your guide, or Tinkerbell, who would sprinkle pixie dust throughout your itinerary. And so to conclude for today, I know that this video has been a little negative with not much upside. But I feel that when the value proposition is being diminished with nickel and diming the guest, it's going to eventually lead to a slow erosion of trust in the Disney brand. But of course, despite Disney rolling this out, we the guests still have some power, as if we all choose to vote with our wallet, then Disney will notice and will have to begin to change the pricing, and tweak the system. And probably even more important than just voicing your opinion on social media is that when you're directly asked by a cast member near the park entrance with a clipboard about your experience, or you're emailed a survey after your visit, make sure to voice your opinion to Disney directly, as those are the metrics that they will be using to determine guest satisfaction. And hopefully, in the near future, Disney will then tweak the system to properly improve upon the Disney experience with Disney Genie. But now, it's over to you Walterners, as I would love to know what are your thoughts and opinions about Disney Genie, Disney Genie Plus, and Lightning Lane, and in what ways would you improve this service? And don't forget to put the timestamp for where the hidden Mickey appeared somewhere in today's video along with your suggestion or your comment to be able to chance to win these official DSNY Newscast enamel pins. And congratulations to these Walterners here for winning these suggestions from the previous videos. And so that's it for today, so be sure to go ahead and subscribe down below if you're new to this channel, hit that notification bell if you've already subscribed and would like to receive notifications, and if you've enjoyed today's video, even if you haven't enjoyed the subject matter, be sure to give this video a massive thumbs up as it really does help this channel out. And I've been Jack, you've been you, and I'll see you real soon.